What's up, YouTube? I'm Grover, coming back at you with another video. If you remember last time we left off, we had all this stuff apart. The pan was still on it, and I kind of had the timing cover resting on it, so nothing, no water, nothing could get in it, no debris. We got our pan off, and timing chain and gears on. My son actually helped me put this on. Tighten the bolt and stuff up for me. 3-year-old did a good job. Slid this sprocket on for me, and we aligned it up, tightened that up pretty good. I only gave this about 2 turns on the ratchet opposed to how tight he had it, so he got it pretty good. Cleaned our pan rails up. So it's the 302 for the Capri, for whoever doesn't know. You guys who have been following along, you know what this motor is. Cleaned it up. A buddy of mine was over, a couple of them, and my buddy Corey helped me clean this thing up pretty good. So I'm gonna let it sit overnight, kind of dry up a little bit more, and give it a wipe down again tomorrow, and probably get some paint on it. Still got to hit the timing cover, clean that up a little bit, and then I'm going to start putting it together. It's got a new oil pump pickup tube on it, which I stole out of the engine for the wagon, since that's getting some stuff changed in it. That'll be in a different video, however. But I figure we're not using it for now. We're trying to get this together. I have it. So I took the oil pump shaft, which was an ARP shaft, the oil pump pickup, excuse me, and tossed it in this bad boy. So that's done. It's a good thing I did that, because when I took the oil pump off of this, it didn't have a gasket on it, and it had the factory oil pump shaft in it, which I showed you guys last time. And them shafts are real small. What they do, especially if they don't have a gasket, is they kind of usually get aerated when it's cold, and this will shift. This will just twist. This shaft will twist, and then they don't oil right, and they lose oil pressure, and it doesn't spin the pump right, and all that stuff. So these things are garbage. So we got that taken care of. Don't have to worry about that. It's got a gasket on it now. So that should be good there. Still got to clean some stuff like this up. Scrape the gasket surfaces. I usually don't do that until I'm done painting. I'll usually leave all the gasket surfaces with whatever's on them. The reason I do that is because when I spray this stuff, I'll set like an intake on this that I don't care about, or that I'm going to paint later on or something, and then I'll paint all this stuff up, and then I scrape all them surfaces clean, so that way any paint or anything, overspray, whatever, comes off with it. I don't like this stuff having paint on it. I like my mating surfaces clean, even if it's getting a pretty thick gasket and stuff on it. I don't like paint anywhere in between a gasket surface. Can get away with it. It's not going to really hurt anything. It's just my little quirk, I guess. So I'm eventually probably going to throw some lifters in this. Put the rockers on it, the 1.7 rockers. I'm just going to start out with those and run it that way, and we'll find out how good our valve springs are. And then I'll probably switch to 1.6s and stuff. That's all in the future. Now, as far as budgeting goes, you see I'm outside. Trying to do this for you guys. I could clean my garage up and put this engine in the garage and all that. The weather here's been pretty decent for the most part, hit or miss, but it's getting decent. Today was a real nice day. I was out here, and it's not bad working outside when the weather's good. I'm trying to show you show the average guy that they can do this type of stuff. I want somebody who might not have a garage. They might have a little awning like this, or might not even have that. Maybe a shed or something, you know. Like, I'm going to tarp this engine for the night. I'm going to roll it back in there, tarp it, put some bricks on it. That way nothing can get in it. And then tomorrow I'll untarp it, pull it out, and do what I got to do. I've had a lot of people, they've come to me, and my good friend Mickey was one of them, and many more. They always hit me with the, well, you got a garage, you can get stuff done in the garage. Half the time I work outside on a lot of this stuff. If you watch most of my videos, I think most of them are actually outside of the garage. I actually enjoy working outside. The first couple cars that I put together were in a sand driveway, like dirt, like that dirt, gritty sand. You know, dragging engine hoists around. That's one reason why when we pull an engine out, and I'll show you when I do the Capri, we actually roll the cars back, because we learned that it was easier to roll the car back than to move the engine stand or the engine lift. So some of that stuff teaches you some new habits, and you stick with those habits for years, and that's what we started doing, and it works for us. So trying to show you guys that you might get down or say, man, I don't have a garage, or you know, you think you need a little building or something to get this stuff done. You don't. You can get it done right in your backyard. You know, I mean, I'm not going to shove this thing in the grass intentionally, because I have a decent little pad here, but I mean, I've done it. I've pulled engines out in the grass, the dirt, you know. So I've laid in sand with cardboard and putting transmissions in and rears and everything else, you know. So I come from the humble side of this, where it's like I didn't have the things I have now, and that's why I got the things that I have now. Thanks to God. And I was kind of a little picky and stuck to my guns when I found the house that I purchased and all that stuff. So, you know, getting back to this though, this is a $500 engine off a marketplace. It's a $50 timing chain and gear. I bought this secondhand. It's pretty sure this is actually new. The guy just never used it. But it's pretty tight. It's got a little slack both sides. You know, I just slid this on, me and my son, and you know, it's not bad. I like an adjustable timing chain. You can see this here. It's got a couple different keyways in it, so you can spin this in advance or degree the cam off the sprocket. So this is kind of the poor man's way, without buying a degree wheel and doing it all fancy. Poor man's way and simple way of just doing it real quick. If you want your cam degreed. So $50, $500 here, and then oil pump and pickup tube I already had. I bought it brand new for the wagon. However, say $100, which is on the higher side. Pump's usually around $50, and the pickup tube can be had for around the same price if you buy from like Parts Geek or something like that. I forget where I found one. It was like $40, I think, for that. Now it's a standard volume, standard pressure pump. It's nothing crazy. It's just a stock replacement pump. I do believe it is a Melling pump. I try to run a name brand pump. I don't like using off-brand stuff for that, because they're cheap enough. You know, the $10-$20 you save might save you. Now, these pumps did have problems back in the day. They cut some material out of them and they started cracking and things, but since then that's been fixed, so it should be good there. The pickup tube, you can use almost any pickup tube as long as it matches the sump of your pan. This is a rear sump pan that's going to go on this. I actually have a brand new pan for this engine. I could have cleaned the old one up, used it. I got a couple pans around that I could have did that with. So realistically, If you want to count the price of the pan, you guys can. I think that was like $50 plus some paint. That was for the wagon as well. By the time I clean one of these pans up, paint it, all that, I'm going to have more money into doing that than just putting that pan on and using it and buying a new pan later on. The pans, I think that pan was like $50 brand new. So for that price, you spend 20 to 40 in cleaners, and then paint, that's a wash because I painted that one. However, if you just want a nice clean pan for $50, you could just toss that thing right on. It was silver or black when I got it. I had whatever paint coating they put on it. It wasn't bare metal, but I got that one painted just because I wanted it a certain color and stuff, and I'll show you guys that in one of the up and coming videos. This engine came with a gasket kit, so I'm going to look through that kit, use the things that I need to use. Probably going to use the timing cover that came on this. I just took a brief look at it, and it's pretty clean looking. So I'm going to clean that up some more, probably let it soak overnight with some degreaser, wipe it down tomorrow. If I have to scrub it, I'll scrub it, and then I'll probably seal this up, maybe paint it after I put a new rear front main seal in it. I'm going to do the rear main seal. I know I have those gaskets with this gasket kit. Since it's a part, you might as well do that little bit of stuff. The front rear main, they're cheap. I think the front main's about 13, the rear main is about 10 to 15. So I mean, end up with, say, probably about 700 between gaskets and things like that. And I'm not doing head gaskets on this. We're leaving these ones on it. Hopefully there isn't a problem with one. We'll find out. If there is, then I gotta rip it back down and put head gaskets on it. However, going to gamble. We're leaving the stock head bolts in it. I do have ARP bolts that this came with as well, with the gasket set. So worst case scenario, rip it apart afterward and smack head gaskets on it, ARP bolts for the heads, and put our intake and stuff back on, and hopefully be on our way if that's the only problem. You never know what you're getting with these engines. I'm not even pulling a bearing cap off of this. You guys saw that I pulled the cam out to verify that it did have a B cam in it. So that's pretty much where we're at with this. I gotta pop the pilot bearing out, the rear main seal out, put the pan for the transmission, the engine block plate, put that on it, flywheel on it, rear main seal obviously before all that, new pilot bearing which I have in the clutch kit. That was about $130. Just a stock replacement clutch. It's not getting nothing crazy. I do have an aluminum flywheel that was for the wagon. I found some weights and stuff, so that way I can put that on. I have a balancer, trick flow balancer I'm going to put on with a 50-ounce weight. So it is going to have a good balancer, good flywheel. This balancer was pretty beat up. Not sure where it's at the moment. I've ran the stock balancers. I never had a problem. But a good balancer is something that you could invest into. It won't hurt anything. Something solid. Romac, Trick Flow Specialties. Maybe Ford Racing even. But I wouldn't do any off-brand or any... definitely not a fluid damper. You could go ATI if you just want to spend money. Or there's Innovators West. They're all good balancers. However, the fluid dampers, never use those. Sometimes they start leaking. They leak the fluid out, throws the engine out of balance, and then you're done. You got a blown up engine because of a fluid damper. And then some of the other ones, I don't trust the balancing on them. Like, say, a Pro Comp balancer, I wouldn't use that just because I don't know if they put the balance weight in the correct spot. Because if that's turned, I don't trust it. Or if it's even the correct weight. Granted, you can pull it. You might, if they have the bolt on one, you can pull it off and weigh it. But I don't trust it. So personally, I like to run. Trick Flow used to be the deal. They were pretty cheap. So a Trick Flow one would probably be my go-to on a budget. If you got a little bit more money to spend, Romac. And then if you want to really spend some money, ATI or Innovative West. Those ones are real nice. Real lightweight. Good balancing and stuff on them. As for the flywheel, I think the one I have might be a Fidanza or a McLeod. It's aluminum unit, might even be a spec, but it's aluminum unit. You know, I cleaned it up. I'll go over that in another video for you guys. And so this will have aluminum flywheel, good balancer. So your budget goes up a little bit with that stuff when you have to buy it. That stuff there I got pretty cheap, so you know I lucked out there. There's going to be a couple things that I buy for the T5 to upgrade, which I'll make a video on that. So you guys are going to see a couple things with this little engine and the transmission, just stuff that is relatively budget friendly even in today's economy. This stuff, I mean, you used to be able to build this stuff dumb cheap. $1,000 would get you out there, to be honest. It's insane what this stuff costs. I had $2,500 into my black coupe. That was the whole car, top to bottom. $200 car. We had the motor and trans, but I did invest money in the trans. I paid about $1,500 into that between the trans and converter. And then, like I said, the engine was given to me. My dad had it. But even then, back then, the engines, we used to buy cars for $300, $400, $500. You pull the motor out of it, part the rest of the car out, pays, you know. That's how I built the green car the first time around. I bought a car, got it relatively cheap. I think I paid $500 or $600 for it, parted the car out, made money on the car. I think I got around $15,000 to $2,000 out of that. So it paid for the motor, it paid for the K-member that went in it, paid for the transmission I had to buy for it, which was a couple $100, paid for the built rear that was in it, $500 or whatever, paid for the whole build. So when you can find the deals like that, it's great. Now this car, I was actually going to buy with a buddy of mine. We were going to buy a GT and split it. The guy wanted $800, so it would have been $400. He wanted the stick shift swap out of it, so he was going to get that whole kit, whole swap rather. I was going to take the rest of the car, engine, rear, interior, body. So I was going to part that whole thing out, keep the engine for this, and same deal, I would have had hardly any money into it. But things didn't work out. The guy gave us the runaround. This popped up. The deal was too good because these are getting kind of hard to find for good deals now. This popped up for $500. It's about what I wanted to spend on an engine. So I went and scooped it while I could. And it's a good thing I did because he had another guy who wanted to come get it. And I beat the guy to it. Because I messaged him first, I guess. Or he got back. I got back to him before the other guy got back to him, I guess. So, that's how we ended up with this little engine here. And hopefully you guys see it come to life. And hopefully we put some good track times down with it. The goal is in the 11s. Now I've hit that goal with a car was kind of more purpose built toward that goal. This is going to be more of a street car that I can take out with my kid and beat on, have fun with, you know, go to car shows with him, go to the track with him, and just have fun with it, beat the snot out of it, hopefully get in the 11s with it, show you guys the little tricks and things that you can do with these motors and how basic they can be to go the times that I've gone with them. I know for a fact this car will go low 12s. I can say that confidently. I think as long as I got good plug wires on it, because I'm using hand-me-down stuff, good plug wires, a good distributor in it, carburetor's tuned in halfway decent, which I'm probably going to build a carburetor for it. Depending what intake I put on it, I don't know which one I'm going to start out with yet. If I put my Action Plus on it, 1250s, I'll say 1250 to 1230 first time down the track. If I put a rear on it. I do have the stuff to build the rear. That's another budget item. I got a set of 35 spline axles, the housing, which I'm not a fan of the housing. Somebody booger welded the axle tubes on it. The spool I had to buy new, but the axles were 35 spline, C-clip eliminator, strange axles, hardened studs, and then I bought the spool. I have a set of 430s in the garage. Excuse me. So I got pretty much everything for the rear. I'm going to order brakes, because I'd like to put all new drum brakes on the rear. Other than that, I think I got pretty much everything to put the rear together. So I really have no reason, other than for your guys' sake, to see how much it picks up with that rear. No real reason to put this car together without the rear in it. But what I might do is smack this thing together, leave that rear in it. Definitely going to trailer the car down. I'm going to try to probably bring a couple sets of wheels with me. I got a set of wheels. I don't know if the tires will hold air, but they're 23.5-inch tires, slicks on the Warriors on that wagon, where if you followed me, you saw them go on that wagon. And might try those out on it. And I might try I got a set of 28-inch slicks if my wheels ever finally get delivered from Jegs, which they're not supposed to come till the end of May, so I might have to use a different set of wheels for the time being to put my slicks on, or steal the ones off the green Mustang, because that's got 28s on it. So I might bring a couple sets of wheels to the track in the future and try out different tire sizes and show you guys what they do and how much it picks up or how much it don't pick up by changing wheels and tires out. But that's a open and rear in it right now with probably 273s or something in it. So it's not going to be ideal for this. However, I still think this will get into the 12s, high 12, maybe a 90 or even a 70, as long as it doesn't break the rear out of it. Which I think I could probably drive through it, and then the last pass I'll let it eat and it'll either spin or grenade. As long as I can get it on the trailer, I don't really care if it breaks. Like I said, we're going to have a rear on standby. I'm going to build that rear before I put it in the car so it's ready to go. So when it does break that rear, I come back here, I put a rear in it with you guys, and we go back to the track and see what it does with some gear and a good rear and really hitting it. Maybe even a little suspension if I can find some traction bars for it, upper and lower control arms. I'd like to keep this all old school. This is going to be a 90s style build. I want to use all old crap in it, hence why I'm keeping the B-cam in it, hence why I'm putting 1.7 rockers on it, which realistically we're going to test that too with the 1.6s. And we're going to try some different things, and we're going to learn what works, what don't work, and what you need, what you don't need, and see exactly what this little thing's capable of doing. And then we're going to hit it with some nitrous, a lot of nitrous, as much as it'll take. So we'll start with probably 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. If anywhere it stalls as I up the shot, then I won't bother hitting it. Like say I hit it with a 200 and it goes no faster than a 150 or 175, then we're going to go back to that 150, 175. There's no reason to kill something if it don't like it or don't pick up. So, just to give you guys some insight on what's going to happen in the future here. That is my goal with this. I just want to have fun with it. I want to show you guys what this thing can do. I did this years ago on Facebook. I met a lot of people who doubted it until they seen it, and I met a lot of people because of it. And honestly, there's nothing cooler than being at the track, popping the hood, and you see something like this sitting under the hood. Granted, this will be painted and all nice, but you're still going to see these junk heads on there. And some of the old school guys, they realize what the parts are. You know, if you're an older guy, you know exactly what's sitting here. And you know what the stuff people have done with the stuff so far. A lot of people will say that this motor will not get into the 12s. I've had that my whole life. Oh, that's impossible. It'll never do it. However, when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I told my cousin that I would go 11s with one of these motors, and I did do it. Stock camshaft in it. Bone stock motor. When I say bone stock, I mean pretty much how this one is. Timing chain and gear. Oil pump pickup. Same deal. I didn't touch head gaskets. I just put new oil stuff on it. Intake carb. Long tube headers. Mac Pro chamber, which I'm going to be using on this as well. And then I did put single chamber mufflers on it. And then I eventually shortened the exhaust. I took the Pro chamber on all off, put Dynamax 3-inch race mufflers on it right off the headers. That did no difference, but I did it. But that car did go 1180s with some other, I had like a hood scoop and stuff on it. That car's 2,700 pounds with me in it. Still had the back seat out of it, but full interior otherwise. Heater was still in it. Wipers, all that stuff was still in it. It wasn't a tube front end. Not at that time. But it was a basic Mustang with UPRK member, no bumpers, you know, things of that nature. So, you guys heard me talk about that car. If you follow me, if you don't follow me yet, and this is your first time seeing me, then if you guys want to hear about that car, then I can make a video and show you guys again and update you on that car. But yeah, I want to do this so you guys see it firsthand, because there's been people who doubt it still, even though I have proof. But you know, when things are 10 years old, that kind of trickles away, even though there's posts on 82 Deck Mafia and things like that. However, if you search on Google, AI pops up. If you put, what has Adam Grover done with E7 heads? And on Google, AI will pop up and tell you some of the stuff I've done, which was actually kind of neat to see. 'Cause I'm nobody special, but I ain't gonna lie, made me feel pretty good to see what it said. Now, with this, like I said, I just want to show you guys how basic these things can be to go the times that we're trying to go. Will it go 11s? Well, that's what we're going to find out. If this one will do it in that car, I don't know what that car weighs yet. I'm not taking anything out of it. I'm actually putting stuff in it. For instance, I fixed the headliner and I put a bubble hatch on it. I put a different rear bumper cover on it that's heavier. So there's some weight being added to that car. Granted, there will be some stuff that does come out of it, like the front sway bar and inner fender, plastic inner fender well linings and things of that nature, things that aren't needed. So there's going to be some stuff going in and out of the car that's going to add weight, take weight, and things like that. I think that car is going to be around where it needs to be to do what it needs to do. So hopefully we can get an 1190 out of this thing on motor. And like I said, I know for a fact it'll go 12s. That doesn't even faze me. So that being said, guys, I might do a couple little things tonight. Get some stuff in here, some lifters, push rods, and rocker arms on. and I'll give you guys the update, and maybe make another video tomorrow or something if I get that stuff done or whatever, and keep you guys posted on this. I'm trying to knock this thing out. I got about a week or so left before this thing needs to be in the car running, just to hit my goal. I'd like this thing running by the end of my birthday week, which is April 21st. It's my birthday, so by the end of that week, I would love this thing, the motor trans, in the car, just where it starts and runs. Doesn't need to move, but I'd like to be able to pour gas down the carburetor and hear this thing fire up and see what we got. Well, thanks for watching. If you guys like this stuff, like and subscribe. Until next time, see you guys later.